Hello viewers, in this video I will show you how to set up GA4 e-commerce tracking with server-side tracking. So here before the begin, to set up all the events, you have to make sure that you already added the data layer code with your website, so you can actually get all the data and all the parameters from the backend part and then pass the data to the GA4. So I already implemented the data layer code with my Shopify store. So let's check from the preview part. So you can see that this Google Tag Manager connected with the Shopify website. And when I go to the product page, you can see the view item event fired, and from the data layer part I get all the info like the e-commerce currency, the items, the product item IDs, the variant item name, the total value. So let's do a purchase so we can get all the events. So you can see other events we're getting here, and also the purchase event file. So from the data layer we get the purchase event, the customer's info name, and all the address, the city, all those info, and the all the transaction ID, value, tax, shipping, the coupon. So I think we are getting all the info from the data layer part. So based on this, we'll send the data with those specific events, so we can get more accurate and more info to the GA4. So other you can see the vegan checkout events, the view item, the add to cart event. So all the events we are getting here. So now make sure we have to add the GA4 base code at first. So from the GA4 go to the setting option, and here you will see the data streams, and when you click you can see your GA4 measurement ID. So just copy this one, so just add with a constant variable the value of this GA4 base code, and here I will create a tag. It would be the Google tag, and here I will add the measurement ID. So this is actually for the page view event. And the trigger here I will add the all pages. Save. So successfully actually we added the GA4 base code, and when you check from your debug view you will see the page view event you will get there. So here now we will add more events which is required for the e-commerce events. So now create a event. This would be the custom event. So based on this data layer I would create the all those events. So at first add the view item, and then it would be add to cart. Next one would be for the checkout. And lastly would be for the purchase. So here almost we did set up all the triggers, all the custom events we need for now. But if you want to create more custom events, you can do that based on your website backend, based on your services. You can add more events what you need for the GA4. So after create those required events, so now I have to create the variables. So here is all the required variables we have to add, so we can send all the required parameters with those specific events. So here I would create at first the for the items parameters. So now here I would add a data layer variable e-commerce.items. So you can just put your variable names what's best for you. And here is for the currency. And the last one for the value. So that's it for now. Now let's get back to the text part. So here I will add a new tag for the GA4 event, and here I will add the GA4 measurement ID, and the event name would be the view item. And the trigger you will add the view item trigger. Okay, so after set up those things, you have to add the event parameters, which variables we just created. So firstly it would be the items parameters. The last one is the value one. So those events parameters are required for the view item. So just save it. And next one would be the add to cart. So I will just copy this exist tag, just change those names, and make sure you have to change the event name here. And here the event parameters will remain same for the add to cart. So I'll just keep this one and just make sure change the trigger for the add to cart. Just save, and again next event would be for the checkout. So for this event name, checkout event name, it would be begin checkout. Okay, so for the checkout, the event parameters will also be the same. So that's here we done for the view item, add to cart, and the checkout. So lastly, we have to add the purchase event. So set up the purchase tag. We have to add more variables here for the purchase event, like the transaction ID, the total value, the tax information, shipping information, the coupon. If your website have the coupon part, you just need to add those coupon parameters as well. So previously we already added the items one. So here we will add the transaction ID. Let's create a new variable for the data layer variable. So for the transaction ID, it would be the e-commerce dot transaction ID. If your website have the affiliation, you can add the affiliation, but I don't need right now. E-commerce value we already added there, and here is the tax information. Shipping info. And the last one is for the coupon. So here all the variables we added here. Now go back to the tag. Now here we need to add a new tag for the purchase. The event name is the purchase, and now you can add the those event parameters and send to the GA4. So here I will already set up those things, like we have to send the items parameter, transaction ID, the tax information, and the trigger would be for the purchase event. So here we added all those event parameters what we needed, and it's done. Now save. So here all the events we already set up here, and now we have to go to the preview so we can check those events are working or not. So after set up those tags, make sure you have to publish this. So let's go back to the debug view. So let's do a purchase here, so you can see events are working or not. So from the Google Tag Manager, you can see that all the tags were fired here, and it would take some time, so those events will appear here. So after made a purchase here, you can see from the debug view the purchase event fired. We are getting the info of the add to cart, view item. So all those info we are getting here, and from the purchase event you can see those items info we are getting with this event, and here also the other parameters we sent from the Google Tag Manager. So we also seeing here with those event, like all the info we're getting, the tax, the shipping info, the transaction ID number, the total purchase value. So all are we are getting here to the GA4, and in this way you can actually set up those events here and pass to the GA4. And now after set up all the events from the browser side, we need to set up the server side tagging so we can get more accurate data and more efficient data we can pass to the GA4. So for the server side tagging, I would suggest to step.io. We can use the step.io. So by the using the step.io, we can pass the server data as well, so we can get more accurate data. And in very simple way, you can just create your step.io account with just sign up with your mail and just provide the information and then create a account. And also make sure we have to add a new container for the server. Like here we'll add a new container which is for the server. And now we added a server container. So when you add a new container for the server container, you have to integrate the tagging server with step.io. So for that you can just copy this one, just go to the new container and just put any container name here, and you have to paste this container configuration code to here, container configuration, and just create a container. and just you can start with a free plan which have 10,000 requests, but after that you have to upgrade this plan to continue. So for now I'm just going with the free plan. So after this configuration, the code after you created here, when you open it, you can see the domain name, the tagging server URL. Just copy this one, and from your Google Tag Manager go to the admin, and from the container setting just add URL and then save it. When you go back to here, you can that this is manually configured, and this one successfully added with this server container. So this server container is added with step.io, and now from the web data, so here we have to also add this tagging URL. Here just go to the GA4 page view which we created. From the configuration setting, just type a server container URL. Just add the server container URL and paste this tagging URL to add with this one, and then save it. So now we have to send the data to the from the server part. So here there is a client name which is a GA4 that is automatically already added here. Now here I would create a trigger. Like here I will add the client name. Now from this client name it would be equals, and we are sending the data to the GA4. So you have to set up this trigger one, like client name equals GA4, and just save it. And again go to the tag. You'll see a Google Analytics event. Now you have to add the measurement ID here. Just add the measurement ID. And you don't have to need to send anything here. Just add the measurement ID, and the trigger would be the client name, this one we just created here. And just save it. So those data will send to the GA4, and from the web those events it will pass to the server container. From the server container it will go to the GA4. So just make a submit. Now if we go to the preview from both container, now you can see this one is the server container preview. From what we are doing here, if you go to the purchase, So you can see from this web container, the data is going to this server container, and using the client name, those data will send to the GA4. You can see successfully we get the purchase event to the server container, like all the information we got here, the add to cart view item, page view, and all those information we are getting here. So yeah, in this way you can set up the GA4 e-commerce tracking with server-side tagging, and to get more accurate data you can use actually the server-side tagging part. So that's it for tonight, and if you need any help to set up any type of custom events, or if you're facing any issue for the Google Analytics, you can reach out to me. You will get my contact information in the description box, so you can easily reach out to me. Thank you so much.